Hello everybody, my name is Davis, welcome back to a video, and today we're here for another severe weather breakdown. Last time I talked about a dangerous storm that was going to move through the Ohio Valley, and last night it did, and it actually got a PDS tornado warning. If you don't know what that means, that is a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. Likely an EF2 or EF3 tornado popped up in Weberville, Michigan, or somewhere near there. And it was pretty big, so I definitely didn't over-exaggerate last time, but today it's not looking quite as concerning, but we still do have some stuff to talk about, so let's go ahead and break it down. So starting off with the SPC outlook for today, we have two different marginal risks of severe weather. We have one up here in the upper Wisconsin region, and then we have one over here that extends all the way out from Colorado, all the way across the country over to the East Coast. This thing is massive, and then inside of central Illinois and central Indiana, we do have a slight risk of severe weather. So let's go and break down the threats that brings. So starting off with the tornado threat, we do have a 2% risk of a tornado today, but it's actually not in the slight risk area. It is just out here in the Ohio Valley once again in the marginal risk. I don't believe there are any large cities included in it. No, there's not, but Huntington, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, Portsmouth, Ohio, and Ironton, Ohio are a few of the areas inside of this 2% tornado risk for today, so look out for that if you're in that region. And then moving on to the damaging wind threat, we have two different 5% risks of damaging wind today, exceeding 60 miles an hour or higher, and one of them is once again in the marginal risk up in Wisconsin, and then the other one is what's driving the other marginal risk that goes all the way out from Colorado over to the East Coast. And then we also have a 15% risk of damaging winds of 60 miles an hour or higher here in central Illinois and central Indiana, which is what's driving our slight risk for today. So the cities that are included in that include Springfield and Peoria, so look out in those regions. Now moving on to the hail threat for today, we have three different areas where we have a chance to see hail of 1 inch or larger. One is out here in the Central Plains, extends all the way out from Colorado up into Nebraska. One of them is in the upper Wisconsin region, and then one of them is in central Illinois and western Indiana. So I'd definitely be on the lookout for some potentially 1 inch hail or larger in those regions, but nothing too concerning overall. Now moving into tomorrow, we have another marginal risk just south of the risk today, and it's not quite as big, but it does extend all the way up into the Midwest Ohio Valley a little bit, all the way down into the deep south. So let's go and break down the threats that brings. Starting off with the tornado threat for tomorrow. Right now it is very low, but it could get upgraded. The damaging wind risk, we have a 5% risk of damaging winds here of 60 miles an hour or higher out in this area that once again extends all the way out here from Oklahoma over to the Carolinas. So there are a lot of very populated areas in that region. The hail threat for tomorrow is very low currently. Now, once we go all the way into Sunday, we already have another marginal risk of severe weather that extends out from Georgia back up into the Virginia. I just said the Virginia. I meant Virginia, not the Virginia. But yeah, so this really shows that the severe weather is getting quite consistent once again. You know, for like 75 days or whatever in a row, we had a slight risk of severe weather every day. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, and in fact, it probably won't, because that was literally record-breaking. But I am saying that the severe weather is not looking like it's going anywhere, especially with the Ring of Fire pattern that we have right now. Basically, inside of the Ring of Fire, you're going to see a lot of very hot temperatures, and right on the line of it is where all these storms move across the country in about this region. So you're going to see continuous storm activity if you're in that like circle there that I'm kind of drawing. I can't actually draw a circle on here, but I'm making it with my mouse. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to the National Hurricane Center, we have some really interesting stuff to talk about. So starting off with this disturbance, it has a 20% chance to form the next 7 days. I'm not saying anything too concerning with this quite yet, but it is too early to talk about it. Then we have this disturbance that has a 50% chance to form the next 7 days and a 20% chance to form the next 48 hours. This is looking like it's not going to hit America. It's going to go just north of it. And then we have this disturbance that has a 10% chance to form the next 7 days and a 10% chance to form the next 48 hours. And again, it's not looking too concerning for this, especially for America over here. Now, we do have Tropical Storm Franklin that is soon to be upgraded to Hurricane Franklin, probably, and then it might go off and even hit all the way up to Greenland. It's supposed to last for a while, but again, not too sure about that yet, so I'll get back to you guys on that throughout the week. And then we have this disturbance. This is by far the biggest point of concern for today. We have a disturbance out here by the Gulf of Mexico that is set to hit the Panhandle and western parts of Florida as an 80% chance to form in the next 7 days and a 40% chance to form in the next 48 hours. I would definitely be looking out for this if I were you, so definitely keep an eye on this, especially for, once again, the western parts of Florida and the Panhandle of Florida. Now, moving on to the eastern Pacific, we have a disturbance that has a 40% chance to form the next 7 days and a 20% chance to form the next 48 hours. And I mean, this could be another Hillary, but again, I don't want to say that quite yet, though, because we're still very early. This hasn't even formed yet or even had a really good chance to form. And then we have this disturbance has a 90% chance to form the next 7 days and an 80% chance to form the next 48 hours. So that's almost certainly going to form. And it's heading for Hawaii as of right now. It might go slightly north of it, but this could be another tropical storm to impact Hawaii or even a hurricane to impact Hawaii. So I'd definitely be looking out once again for tropical activity here in Hawaii. We are getting close to the peak of hurricane season, and I mean, you can tell we've got a bunch of activity out here compared to a month ago where there was nothing for like a week straight or whatever. So yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. But anyway, moving on to the excessive rainfall outlook. Today we have 2 slight risks of excessive rainfall. One is out here in the Ohio Valley once again, extends all the way down into Tennessee, almost to Knoxville, and goes all the way up into southern bits of Ohio. So if you're in that region, you have a 15% chance to see flash flooding today. And then we have another massive slight risk over here that extends all the way out to Denver and Cheyenne, all the way over here to parts of Nebraska and central Kansas, or northern Kansas rather. So yeah, again, look out there for some excessive rainfall that would lead to flash flooding. If you are in those yellow regions, you have a 15% chance of it. If you're in the green, you have a 5% chance. I normally don't mention the green because it's not really a giant threat. Moving into tomorrow, we have no slight risks, and then moving into Sunday, we have no slight risks, but Monday, we do have another slight risk already, which is pretty far out to have a slight risk already. Extends all the way into Georgia and Tennessee, also into the Carolinas. So it's definitely looking like we're going to get some storm activity in this yellow region here on Monday that could cause some flash flooding. So I'd be on the lookout if I'm in that yellow region on Monday. And then moving into Tuesday, as of right now, we do only have 1 slight risk, and it's very small. But we are going to break it down anyway here because it is in that western part of Florida region, which, as I mentioned, could get hit by a tropical storm / hurricane, and Tampa is included in this. So I'd definitely be on the lookout if I'm in Florida on Tuesday, not only because of the hurricane, but also the flash flooding risk that brings. We saw with Tropical Storm Hillary how much flash flooding that brought. I can't speak, flash flooding. But yeah, it could be another thing that happens here, so definitely be on the lookout. Then we have our day 6 to 10 temperature outlook, and I am sorry, guys. This is from August 31st to September 4th, but the heat's not going anywhere. We've had a massive heat dome out here in the central part of America, or United States of America, rather, because Central America would be... Anyway, in the central parts of the United States, we've had ridiculous record-breaking heat. I believe there were over 400 records reported to be broken for temperatures of all time. In the specific regions, and it's not going anywhere. So especially parts of Texas, this little pink line, it goes through the central plains here and then extends all the way up to Minneapolis and Iowa. It's gonna be nasty, dude. And then the dark red, still going to see very above average temperatures. Orange, still gonna see above average temperatures. The lighter orange, it's gonna be a little warmer, and then the yellow, we're really not too sure yet. So yeah, and then we do actually have a little cold dome out here that's been here for a few days in the northeast, and it has now extended into the Ohio Valley and a little bit into the south, so it's probably nice for you guys. You guys have not had a rough summer, though. It has been like 65 degrees every day there. Oh boy, how much I would like to trade places with you. Now moving on to the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, that is once again August 31st to September 4th. not only is the heat not going anywhere, but this drought is not going anywhere, okay? We still have a massive below average precipitation region forecasted that extends once again out from Texas. It feels like this is always where it starts, and then this time it's going to go a little bit off to the east into the parts of the deep south, the Midwest, and the Ohio Valley even. So it's going to be hot, it's going to be dry, it's going to be yucky. But over here, we do have an area of above average precipitation likely here in the desert southwest. But we really don't need more rain over here after Tropical Storm Hillary. So that's actually not good for this region. And then we do have a little above average region here in Florida. But that's not super likely to happen. It's just a possibility at this point. So moving on to the day 8 to 14 outlooks, that's September 2nd to September 8th. The heat does not subside. It is not giving up. I don't know what to tell you. It's just ridiculous. Again, pink, very above average temperatures. Dark red, very above average temperatures. Orange, still pretty above average temperatures. Lighter orange, possibly above average temperatures. Yellow, maybe above average temperatures. But the pink and the dark red especially is where we're seeing these records just being absolutely shattered. And it's not going anywhere. It's staying. Even the Northeast is going to be impacted by this. It's expanding, if anything. It is just going to be yucky. The only heat relief in sight is the fact that it is starting to turn into the fall season, so naturally it will get a little bit cooler, but that does not mean that it's going to be not extremely super duper hot by any means necessary. So yeah, it's going to be yucky, man. It's going to be disgusting. But moving on to the day 8 to day 14 precipitation outlook, I almost don't even want to cover this because it's making me sad looking at this too. But the drought, it's staying, okay? We got this dark brown region here that extends all the way out into the Virginias and the Carolinas, even into the Ohio Valley a little bit, and all the way again to Texas. And then this tan area is still going to be slightly below average precipitation. It's going to be yucky. And then up here in the Northwest, you're going to see above average precipitation. Above average precipitation. There we go. So yeah, look out for that. It's going to be very, very hot, ridiculous. It's not going anywhere. I'm sorry. I wish I had better news for you guys. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Again, Central Illinois, Western Indiana, look out for that risk today. But yeah, other than that, we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.